What's going on, guys? Rico here, back again. We have a very special client here, Amanda Falk. Is that how you say it, right? I didn't mess that up, right?
No, yeah, it's Falk.
Amanda Falk, right? So basically,
Yeah.
guys, we just helped Amanda get approved for a new home, a new house for her mortgage, and she's actually sitting in her house as we speak right now. So if you guys can comment in the section below, congratulations, give her a huge congratulations, guys. We worked hard together. She deserves it. But a little bit about myself, guys, for those you don't know, back in 2009, I was a victim of identity theft, okay? While serving in Iraq, all right? One of my own family members actually took $6,000 out of my bank account, plummeted my score to the 500s. And basically, I felt vulnerable. I didn't know what to do. When I got home from my deployment, I couldn't apply for apartments. I couldn't apply for cars. And if it did, it was high interest rate, right? So over the course of 9 years, right, I spent over $50,000 in mentors to teach me how, the importance of credit, how to fix it, how to build it, and how to leverage it. Now to this day, I own 3 passive income businesses that basically making money in my sleep, utilizing credit, okay? But enough about me, Amanda. We're gonna talk about basically, just tell me a little bit about yourself, your age and etc. Right? Just tell me about your occupation and stuff like that. Again, just tell me about yourself and we'll go from there and I'll start asking questions, okay?
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's mine, but for some reason you keep lagging a little bit.
Oh, okay. It could be
Yeah.
lagging. It could be. Okay. Can you?
But a little bit about me. So I'm 33 years old. I'm a single mom. I have 3 kids. I work for Panera as an assistant general manager. I do have a decent income, thankfully.
I used to work for
didn't.
Panera. I miss Panera. We actually went to Panera today for my wife.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. So basically, over the last year, I actually owned a home with my fiance. However, my name was not on it. We parted ways back in November of 2020, and I found myself back into an apartment, which just isn't an ideal situation. I had a cat, I had 2 cats, a dog, 3 kids. Like, it just was not something that I wanted to really stay in too long. At that point, like, my credit was okay. It wasn't like great, but then having to move out of this house that was owned outright and having all these other extra bills on top of that, I ended up missing credit payment or card payments and things like that, and then my score just plummeted. I was actually, I think, at like 473 when I started working with you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm like, I had to figure something out. Well, thankfully I ended up getting a raise at my job, and that definitely helped me to start like being able to catch up on some bills, but it wasn't paying off my cards, and like catching up wasn't helping my credit score. It was like the late payments that I was having issues with. It, like, that was just like kind of holding me back, and it made my credit report just look awful. So in April, I decided that, I wanted to be in a house actually by this time next, like that April of this year, I decided I wanted to be in a house by the following year. So I'm ahead of my goal.
Yeah, you are.
But that's because like I hired you guys. You were referred to me through actually another person named Carla, who, forgive me, I was like, we had talked about like, actually someone referred me to Carla, and Carla referred me to you.
Okay.
Because Carla had actually helped my friend get into a home.
And for those of people don't know, Carla is the realtor, was your realtor, correct?
So no, actually,
Beginning.
I remember we had this conversation, and this was my bad completely. Carla had referred me to you, but then I never reached back out to Carla afterwards, and that was
Mhm.
totally my fault.
That's
I
fine.
because it's because I'd used this realtor previously when my ex and I bought this other home. So
Mhm.
I reached directly out to him because I was familiar with him. I'd worked with him in the past, and he knew the area that I was interested in buying a little bit better than I think Carla did, because she's out in like the we're in Northwest. She's like in like the northeast, the eastern, more central eastern part of
Yes.
Connecticut.
Okay.
So, but like when you had asked me about it, I felt so bad. I was like, oh, I meant to reach back
It's
out to
fine.
her, and I forgot.
It's fine. It's fine. The goal
um,
was if to get you a house. That was the goal, no matter what,
yeah,
right? But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah.
interrupt.
Okay. So, anyways, what ended up happening was, I worked with you guys for starting in April. I want to say within 2 months, my credit score was up 100 points. And
Wow.
I think it was actually over 100 points. Like my credit score itself was up 100 points, but my FICO score had increased significantly.
Yes.
Um, my FICO score is what actually qualified me for an FHA mortgage.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
I just
remember. I remember you were sorry again. You tell them the part where you started hitting me up. I don't see the score going up. Did you remember that? Do you remember that little ordeal?
Yeah, well, no, I was just frustrated because my score's not really going up that much. And you're like sending me all these stats, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, nope, you are right. I'm like, my score is going up. I'm just in a hurry for this process to like
Yeah.
happen. And
Yeah.
like, I'm still working with you guys because I know that my
Yeah.
credit still needs work. Like,
For sure.
it's not where I want it at all. But
For
I
sure.
mean, anyways, push comes to shove, I qualified for this mortgage, and I actually got a great rate too. My rate is a 2.75%.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. My closing attorney was like, yeah, he's like, you're never going to have to remortgage.
Yeah. That's
He's like,
great.
he's like, you're not going to get a better rate than what you have right now. He's like, like, I don't even have this good of a rate.
So tell me, Amanda. So you had this job, you were working, you said you split with your ex, right?
Yep.
Okay, so with that being said, and it's a little bit of laggy, but no worries, we're gonna keep on rolling. So what happened is, tell me how did you feel before when you had your credit in the 400s and you couldn't get approved for that house? How did you feel about that?
I mean, I was really frustrated. It, it, it was devastating to be, nothing against like the apartment life. I just,
Yeah.
at the age, like at 33 with 3 kids, like I did not see myself like wanting to continue to pay someone else to live somewhere. Like I wanted my own piece of the pie is really what
Okay.
it came down to.
Yeah.
I was like, I can afford rent. Why can't I get a mortgage?
Okay. Now,
Because it was pretty much a similar pay.
for sure, no, for sure, probably you're going to be even saving money here in the near future, to be
Yeah.
honest with you,
Event.
and
Yeah.
you're going to own the property, which is great. Now, let me ask you.
Mhm.
So the process of and you got referred to me from a realtor, Carla, and then we started to work together. Can you tell me a little bit about that process? Were you skeptical at first? How did you hear about me? Can you tell them a little
Oh,
bit about that?
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I was definitely skeptical.
Yeah.
I was like, all I could think about was what's the one that's always advertised? Um I can't remember
We
what it's
won't,
called now.
the
Yeah,
big
I can't
L.
remember what it's called now. But
L. Yeah. I
yes,
won't say their
yes, it's
name, but
always advertised. And I was
yeah.
like, I remember looking at their prices and I'm like, what? Like, they're like, I remember like seeing that they charge like $120 just to challenge four things on your credit report. And I'm
Hmm.
like, well, I have like a whole slew of things, like four things for
Yeah.
$120. Like that's it. That's not really, it's not really affordable, and it's not really ideal, and
Yeah.
it's not really going to get you anywhere in any amount of time that you want, and you're going to end up paying thousands of dollars, like just to remove like a few things from your credit report. Like that's
Exactly.
like, it's not, I don't want to say, like, some people can afford that, and I was not in that position.
Yeah.
Um, when I hired you guys, I don't know if you're still doing it, you were running like a really good rate. I think you said your prices are going to be going up, and you're
They
still
are
running that.
going up soon. They are,
Yeah.
because we're getting a lot of people into homes like yourself. But the thing is that we want to get people results. We like to get people real results, because chances are, if I take care of you, you're going to tell people about this, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we did that. So yeah, so you were a little bit skeptical at first. I understand
Oh
that,
yeah.
and I want to thank you
Yeah. I
for,
remember I remember you and I spoke on the phone, and then I was still hesitant, and then a couple weeks later I called you back.
yeah, it happens. It happens like that. So you were a little skeptical at first, and then tell me a little bit about like what you went through, like, the onboarding process. Was it simple? Was it professional? Just tell me a little bit about your experience, just like collecting
I mean,
your your
the
information and stuff.
onboarding process was easy.
Yeah.
I think it was like maybe a 10-15 minute phone call with one of your guys. They
Hmm.
just needed a little bit of information, like, credit card information for billing purposes, um, social security, so they can, my cat's behind me, social security number, so so that they can, so that they're able to like have access to the things that they need access to. But everything is confidential. Like, it wasn't, um I remember like giving my social security number and being like, okay. I'm like, I was
Yeah.
a little nervous about it, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm like, my credit's already like crap, so there's really
Yeah.
nothing more they can do.
Exactly. I want to stop you right there. People who are watching this, if you're skeptical of giving your social security number, we don't want bad credit.
I know.
That's not a shot to you or anything like that. It's simple, guys. We're here to really help. We want to really help. So I want to thank you for trusting us again. So go ahead. We collected your social, date of birth, etc.
Yep. And I remember I gave you a copy of my license, and you guys got started on everything right away. I remember getting like multiple, like, and you also had me sign up for the
Yes. So
identity
we
thing.
pulled your reports. Yep.
Yeah. And so I still have so I still have the monthly subscription with that, and that coincides with you guys.
Okay.
Um,
Now,
so
go ahead.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what were the biggest items on your credit report that you got deleted? Like, were they collections? Were they charge-offs? Anything like that? What was preventing you from getting this mortgage at first?
Oh, it was definitely the recent late payments.
The late payments, right?
Um,
And we got
yeah,
those.
because I mean, I do have like a bankruptcy on my report, but that was it was discharged in 2016, so that wasn't hurting me. It was
Mhm.
definitely the recent late payments that was really hurting me, because they look at, they look at your credit history, and like, have you been making payments on time for like the last like 2 years? Have you
Mhm.
fallen like, and they look at things that went into collections and things like that. So I think you actually were able to remove, I want to say like one or two, I think it was like one or two collection accounts that I had.
Mhm.
And then you
Mhm.
also removed late payments for me.
That is amazing, because as you guys know, late payments are hard to remove and update, and it takes one of the longest, and we got it done in a matter of months, right? So congratulations to that. So
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
because literally I hired you guys in April, and in June I was pre-approved for a mortgage.
That's so awesome. I kind of
Yeah.
want to show them. So I got more questions. Okay, so when you got approved, how did you feel? So let's go back a little bit during the process, right? I understand, as every time we dispute something, you get automatic emails, right? Wouldn't you agree? Like every time we dispute, so you're in the loop. Can you talk a little bit about
Yeah,
that?
I
Like
mean,
during the process, how was your process?
it was very aggressive.
Mhm.
The emails were full of things like that you were disputing all at once. It wasn't like you were picking and choosing, or only choosing 4 items to dispute at that time. It was everything that was negative on my report. it, I mean, like, in that, and when I think about it, when I think about other programs, like I said, they only pick like maybe 4 items at a time to dispute. You're disputing everything. I mean,
Mhm.
so that itself is worth the money. I don't,
Yeah.
like, I hired you guys because I don't have time to do that process.
Hmm. Yeah, people can
You
do
know,
this themselves.
no, I know, and you guys have that, you have that new book out that you
Yeah,
that that you just published. But like, for me, it's more convenient for me to have you guys do it for me because I just don't have the time. And
exactly.
that's basically what I'm paying for. Not, I don't even feel like I'm paying for you guys to dispute things on my credit report. It's more for the convenience, to be honest.
For sure. Awesome. All right. So you went through the process. It was a pretty simple process. Now, let me ask you, did you have to do anything during that process? Did you have to send out any mail? Did you have to do anything?
Honestly, no. There are things that I should have followed up on that I didn't. But
Yeah.
but for like, there are things that I have to do on my end. Like, I do have to send you like the mail that I get from you
Hmm.
disputing things. But even without that, you were still able to get things deleted for me.
Exactly. So there was no legwork on your part. We took care of you. We basically did all the legwork for you, correct?
Yep.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And you still got results, and your credit score jumped 100 points, and you got into that house. That is amazing. So now, like, tell me a little bit about like the day that you found out you got pre-approved for your house. I'd like to know about that.
So I shopped around a little bit, and I was trying to see like how much I could get approved for, and things like that. So what ended up happening was, I'm sorry, I'm watching my dog right now.
That's all right.
What ended up happening was I applied, I was pre-approved through 3 different lenders,
Hmm.
and I was really skeptical because it was weird because a couple lenders could only approve me for like 200,000, but another
Hmm.
lender had me approved at 240,000.
Hmm.
So what I ended up doing with that was, the lender that had me approved a little bit higher, I asked him like why he had me approved a little bit higher, and he's like, it could be a number of things, but for my own peace of mind, I asked him, I was like, I'm like, if when I find a property, can you get me underwritten pre-approval?
Hmm.
Because once you get pre-approval for a mortgage, like, it's one thing, but there's like a number of things that can happen during that process for it to fall through. But once you get underwritten pre-approval, you're pretty much golden. Like, the only
Awesome.
thing that would stop you at that point is if you switch jobs.
For sure. Yeah.
Um, so that's what I ended up doing. I submitted tons of paperwork to get underwritten pre-approval for the house that I'm in right now, and it was approved. And then I was like, all right, I've gotten nothing stopping me now, and I know that.
Awesome. So tell us about like the pre what are people looking? I mean, you're in Connecticut. Shout out to Connecticut. I'm born and raised in Connecticut. But let's talk about what are the things that you needed to do. I know every lender is different, but
Yeah.
some typical for our audience that's watching right now, what are some typical things that you do recommend just to get their journey started if they want to buy a house, basically?
I mean, definitely one of the things that you guys actually recommended was paying down all of the credit cards. Lenders want to see you pay down credit. They don't want to see high credit. They want to see like a decent amount of revolving accounts, but they don't want to see like high anything that's being utilized over like 30%. They don't want to see that at all. They want you paying all that down. I actually had some accounts that I had already paid down. They were coming back at me and saying, hey, we need you to pay this account off. Oh, it's already done. Like, I didn't even have to worry because I had already paid it off. I
Exactly.
just had to submit like proof that I paid it off.
So not only did you get things deleted, you actually got education from our company on how to bring down
But
your credit cards, which brings up your score, correct?
yeah, but I got that education even without hiring you guys because you told
Yeah.
me about like during our like interview process or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, you were talking to me about that. You're like, this is what you need to start doing.
Yep. Yep.
Like, we can like you can do the legwork in ways of challenging things on the credit report, but
Exactly.
that's what you can do on your end, but this is what I need to do on my end.
Exactly. So we do need a little bit of things on the client's end, which is, hey, if you have credit cards that have high utilization, high balances, pay them down, right? Pay them down. And in turn, if you're
Mhm.
below 30%, now I recommend below 9%, and
Yeah.
1 to 3% is ideal. But the thing is, once you pay those down, people need to know that that alone could get you approved for a mortgage. So that's great information. Now that you're in
Well,
your house, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, I mean, even if you like that alone gets like your score up like dramatically. Like it's insane.
It is. It is. It's just knowing the credit game. All right. And there's levels to this game. So the thing is, now that you have your house, congratulations again, guys. If you're watching this, type in the comment section below. Congratulations to Amanda. All right. Now that you have your house, what? First of all, how do you feel? Like once you're still with us right now, you're actually with our service right now because we want to take you to the next level. But how
I
do you
mean,
feel that you have a house?
I'm a 33-year-old single mom of 3. I feel like a badass. Like,
You are. You are.
like,
You
it
are.
was
I'm proud of you.
like you guys helped me like delete things off my credit report to kind of get me in that door. But
Hmm.
it was also like me managing money and paying down debt, and I feel like I said, I feel like a badass because I'm a
That's
single
it.
mom.
You are a badass girl. Get it. Get it. All right. You're doing on you. You're a single mother. You're a single mother, 33-year-old single mother
Yeah.
with a job. You have to take care of your kids by yourself, and you bought a house. Congratulations to you. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Right. So again, proud of you. We're still working with you to get to the next level. What is your any last words? Like, what is your recommendations to the audience that's watching this right now who are maybe skeptical or they don't know if they could trust a credit repair company because a lot of credit repair companies get a bad rap and a bad name.
Yeah.
What
Well,
what do you think to our audience that
I mean, so the difference between Approve Repair and the other companies is like you reach out to me all the time, first off.
yeah
You literally reach out to me all of the time. You are on top of it, like, and if you see me slacking in some area, you talk to me and you're like, what's going on?
yeah
So
yeah
you're like a credit coach,
yeah
on top of like having a whole team of guys that are also like helping along and like sending out texts and being like, hey, Rico's about to jump on Facebook, like you like log on. A lot of times I can't because I'm working, but I try to catch up later. But
so yeah
I mean, for me, like it's just you have to believe in the process and you have to be patient. And you
that's
can't
huge.
be, and it's not magical. It's not going to happen overnight, but you also have to do some of the work too. Like you have to learn how to manage your money. You have to keep track of when payments are due and things like that. You can't just like let it go and expect everything to happen just because you hired someone to dispute a few things on your credit report. Like
Sure.
that's not the only, like, you can dispute everything, but if you're not doing the work on your end, then if we're not doing the work on our end, then like what you're doing, it's just a waste.
Exactly. You got to change these habits. Yeah, it's about change. We can delete everything
Mhm.
for you, but you'll come right back if you don't change your habits, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
So
literally pay down my credit cards every single month now. Like I pay them off. I don't even pay them down. I just pay them off.
awesome. So what is the? Let me ask you. What is the next step for you now that you're still on our service? We actually, and guys, for you guys watching, she was talking about the group. We actually have a free credit building credit repair group that I go every Tuesday, every live. I go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I give you guys free information on why credit is important, how to fix it, how to build it, and how to leverage it. What's up, man? What's going on? You gonna
You
be
gonna
on
say
this
hi?
YouTube?
Say hi.
That's what we do it for, guys. All right. So so again, if you guys want that, we're gonna put the links in below. But any last
Charlie. All right, enough. Hey, go watch Blippi.
okay. Any last words
Sorry.
before we close out?
I don't think so. Just thank you. Thank you for all of the help, and thank you for getting me into my house, and like it was definitely like I needed it.
For sure. Sure, I appreciate that.
You kind of gave me the kick in the butt that I also needed. So
No worries. Hey, that's what it's all about. All right. As you guys can see, this is real. This is not scripted. This is real. All right.
I'm your kid. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry.
All right.
There you
Well,
go.
I did want to thank you for jumping on. For you guys who are watching, if you need help, if you need help with your credit, look in the description below. All right, guys. This is Rico with Approve Repair, and Amanda. Thank you for joining us.
Sorry.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.